Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Fariba Enteshari, the founder of Rumi Educational Center, and our guest today is Dr. Miku Lenentine. Dr. Miku Lenentine is a yoga and meditation teacher at the Way of Vibrantly, the University of Hawaii, and the School of Still and Moving, also in Hawaii. I would like to welcome Miku. She's the one who played this beautiful flute for us. We have provided a program for you about love today, and Miku is going to do the practical part, and I'm going to talk about Rumi and the aspects of love in Rumi's poetry. Just few short story to warm your heart on this Valentine's Day. Today's topic is the sound of love. So this is Ishq, love in Farsi, that I would like you to see at least the script and hear the sound of it. Ishq is in Farsi. And in order to tell us about love in Sufism, especially a master teacher like Rumi, they talk about the inner heart. One of the reasons that they talk about the inner heart is that inner heart is connected to the soul and the spirit of the universe. And our way of living, our vocation basically is to clear out the house of love and the house of our heart for the spirit to be able to perform. So that's when they say do it through your heart, is the connection that we feel to the other spirits. We'll tell you a small story that Rumi tells us, and he took it from Quran. It calls a last agreement. And the story is like that before we come to the life, before we came to the earth, before the spirit intangible ascended to the tangible matter, God asked us, do you remember me? If I give you life, if you send you to the earth, in that lifetime, will you remember your essence? Will you remember your source? So our spirit at this point is a part of the great spirit. And the knowing within the heart of the universe and the great spirit is also within our heart and spirit and soul. So the analogies that we said, yes, and the Sufis call that remembrance. Rumi tells us that we really forget that we had this agreement with the source of the spirit. We forget that we are a spirit being. And because of that, one of the practices of Sufism is remembrance, remembering that we have higher quality that doesn't really navigate only on the earth. That's why love and love qualities for Sufis and teachers like Rumi, it's not something that it appears on the earth because we have the spirit and we can illuminate love through our spirit, but it's a free will. We don't have to do that. So in order to understand the qualities of love taught by a master teacher like Rumi, we should understand that love is from the other world, the world of the spirit. And our vocation is to illuminate that through our daily life, not through our, how feisty we can be and how we can make life for ourselves or others difficult. It's kind of like we are perfect in spirit, but we are not perfect in our performance on the earth while we land here. So a lot of practices has something to do with being able to ascend and lean into God's heart or the heart of the Great Spirit and kind of acquire and land some of these qualities on the everyday life. And Rumi is just amazing as a teacher to tell us we cannot get disheartened. We make mistakes. So clearing out this inner heart is the most important, to not give up, to be able to ascend and take on with meditation, with taking time, take on some of these heavenly quality. And when we are back here within the form we are, for example, as Fariba or Miku, hopefully our vocation is to serve with this love. So now I would like to share with you really few verses of Rumi that I absolutely love. And then Miko is going to lead us into the segment that she has provided for us. What I would like to also add before we start reading Rumi's poetry in Farsi and English, just few verses, is that is really important to see ourselves as a vessel of love and the spirit, and not becoming disheartened or giving up or disappointed has so much to do with being able to just clear out whatever you don't want on your path that doesn't let you illuminate the essence that you are. That's just putting all the teachings in one, you know, nutshell. Basically, tell you that it's really important for us to see ourselves as a vessel. Often, when Rumi talks about reed, also he mentions that if we are like a hollow reed, what God and the Great Spirit can do, what universe can do to us is to put its lips. God doesn't have a gender in this tradition, so God puts its lips on our reed, the vessel we are, empty of ego, empty of what is in it for me all the time. And I am the most unhappiest person in the world. So how can I achieve something that either making other people unhappy or, just act out? So the spirit is kind of opposite of that. You're just clearing out the house of your heart, inner heart, and who you are as characteristic a person. All of us are like, we may not like some of the characteristic that we have. So it has a lot to do with polishing our heart and getting closer and closer to the quality of heavenly quality that understands the unity, that understands we are one. And if we go against each other, the house that is divided, we all know is in Bible what will happen to that house. Anyhow, that's before I start this beautiful verse at the beginning of Masnavi that gives us one of the qualities of love. عشقست کاندر فتاد, that's in Farsi. So it's the fire of love that the Creator put in the reed. That's the Creator gift to you. So in Bible, life is a gift. The living water, these all has the connection, a way to illuminate our connection to the spirit. The next one I would like to share with you is جوشش عشقست کاندر می فتاد. It is the intensity of love that the Creator put in the wine. And if you look at the blog for this month, the wine basically is the wine of love that we have to have ability of flowing within our spirit like blood in our veins. So it's so important for us to kind of take these images on like a robe and understand the tangible, which is who we are as a person, and intangible, who we are as the essence, who we are when we are connected to the source. This is another verse about love. The one who is stripped by love is also stripped from all affliction. So life may be difficult. Life may be circumstances, may be, easy, but it's so important to just understand it, our vocation as the spirit in this lifetime can also become a protection, not only to ourselves, but also to us, others. In Farsi is هر که را جام ز عشقی چاک شد او ز حرص و عیب کلی پاک شد. So this one is interesting. I put it there, although it doesn't talk about love directly, but indirectly, Rumi gives us a hint how we can gain patience, because we are in the body. The body needs shelter, safety, and love. So how can we really achieve to go further in this path, considering our body, spirit, and also share the best talents and abilities we have to others. کوزه چشم حریصان پر نشد تا صدف قانع نشد پردر نشد. There's no limit to appetite of a greedy one, of someone who is greedy. So it's always, if you lean toward all these caregiving that we need to give to a human being, like a baby, it's so hard to take care of a human baby. They're not going to suddenly be born and know what to do. We have to take care of them. So if we lean into the matter, it's like always nothing is enough. So we have to put a cap on the greed, but not just because, too much is more than enough, just because oyster, he gives us an example. Oyster did not fill with pearls until it became content. So knowing how much of what we need in order to be able to function within our body, mind, and soul, and also consider our source and the spirit is very important. The contentment is one of the key. So this one is also very important, because once we are connected, once we nibble and schmooze with our qualities of being also a spirit and focus on it, what it happens is, it's like what Rumi says, we become overwhelmed. We get filled, our veins get filled with this overwhelming feeling of love. But it also cleans our inner heart and any other affliction, as we mentioned, that we would like to take out of our path and have a smoother path. هر که را جام ز عشقی چاک شد او ز حرص عیب کلی پاک شد. So it's So this constant not giving up, not becoming disappointed and disheartened, not giving up on ourselves, and being able to dive back into the life and ascend and get the oxygen of love from these higher qualities that we possess, and be able to come back and perform our vocation. So this one, Miku said she loves, so we kept it in. جسم خاک از عشق بر افلاک شد، کوه در رقص آمد و چالاک شد. With love, you can soar to heaven. Even the mountain can start to dance and become light like a feather. So these are some of the qualities of love that I wanted passionately to share with you today for our Valentine's Day webinar this week. So here is my last verse that I chose for you from the beginning of Masnavi that Rumi does speaks about love and qualities of love. This one is also equally beautiful in Farsi and English. جمله معشوق است و عاشق پرده است، زنده معشوق است و عاشق مرده است. This is the verse B part of it is the quote for this week. If you are on our registered for our database, you get only one quote every week. And this is the quote we chose for this week as we start Monday with Valentine's Day. جمله معشوق است و عاشق پرده است، زنده معشوق است و عاشق مرده است. Doesn't it sound beautiful? Farsi is very sweet language and sounds absolutely melodic. The beloved is every being, and the lover is nothing but a veil. Why? Because your essence is the spirit, and the rest is the veil. The vibrant vitality is the beloved, and the lover is nothing but the void. So with that, I will stop sharing. With that, I'm going to stop sharing, and if my mouse allows me. Okay. Stop sharing. And Miko. Hi, Miko. I'm going to stay. Okay, please.
Thank you so much, Fariba. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Share with us your wisdom, Miko, and thank you for playing so beautifully.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Well, I wanted to just build on these beautiful words and this wisdom that Fariba has shared with us today, especially this part about the oxygen of love, and how we can allow ourselves to become this vessel to be filled up with the oxygen of love as we enter into the void space. So I wanted to bring in some practical wisdom and guidance for how do we actually do this. And we can do this very simply by beginning to connect with our breath and beginning to begin to listen to the sound of love, to listen to the sound of the universe. And I wanted to read just a few words here from John O'Donohue, who's one of my most favorite people also, who speaks on love. And he says that true listening is worship. And with a sense of hearing, we listen to creation. He writes that one of the great thresholds in reality is the threshold between sound and silence. And all good sounds have silence near them, behind them, and within them. So true listening is really listening into the silence. And the first sound that every human hears is the sound of the mother's heartbeat, beating in these dark waters of the womb. When the child is at one with the mother and at one with the universe. And so we're going to take a moment and settle into a practice and return to this space of the void so that we can begin to listen to the mother, to the heart. So you can take a moment to make yourself comfortable. Maybe sitting up a little bit taller. Finding a tall spine. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Or maybe just nestling in nice with a blanket, a pillow. And just let yourself settle in. Invitation to close the eyes. And we'll begin by focusing on the breath. Finding a slow, deep breath in. And a slow, deep breath out. Just letting yourself settle and arrive. And focusing first on the physical sensations to attune your body and awaken the ability to sense and feel and truly listen. As we find ourselves taking a breath in, notice the body expands and opens up. And taking a breath out, the body softens and gentles. And just at your own pace, beginning to find slow, deep breaths. Breathing in, noticing perhaps a movement in the shoulders or belly, the body expands. And breathing out, softening, letting that breath wash through the body. And just continue to breathe at your own pace. Slow, deep breath in. And slow, deep breath out. If you like, you can bring one hand to the heart, maybe even one hand to the belly, or even both hands on the heart. And just feel the warmth of your palms on your body. Feeling with your hands that movement, how the body expands. And the body softens. Just take a moment here to invite the breath to be as slow as your body needs right now. To gentle and slow down, receive and nourish. Just focusing on that sensation of breath in the body. Slow, deep breath in. And slow, deep breath out. And we'll begin to shift our focus to our human heart. You can start by just noticing, can you feel your heartbeat? Can you feel the rhythm of life flowing within your own body? Just as it flows through the universe, start right here. An option, if you like, to bring fingers to your pulse. You can bring fingers to your neck or to your wrist. And just notice, can you feel your heart beating? An invitation to allow your heart to beat as slowly as your body needs right now for nourishment and healing and love. And so we'll stay here for just a few more moments, noticing the rhythm of our own bodies as life flows through us and with us. You can keep your hands on your heart, or if you like, you can return them to your sides or bring them back into your lap. And we'll stay here for just a few cycles of breath more, really tuning in and listening to the rhythm of your own body and being. So wherever you are in this listening, slowly and gently begin to shift your awareness to your third eye. All the while, the rhythm of the breath is flowing in your body. The rhythm of life is flowing in your heart. We'll gently begin to shift our gaze to the darkness behind the eyes and come into the void space. Seeing this vast darkness opening before you, shimmering in the mystery and possibility. Here we can listen for the heart of the universe. As we open up our inner gaze, just as the breath that flows in the body flows in all life, a sacred breath flows across the universe, carrying with it the waves of love. And see yourself now floating in this space. You picture yourself. Maybe you see yourself seated, or you see yourself lying down or nestled up with a blanket. Maybe floating on stardust. And with each breath that you take, feeling so calm and so held. Letting yourself be bathed by the lullaby of love in this space. The sacred fire is twinkling and shining in thousands and thousands of diamond lights in the sky around you. And as we breathe, the universe breathes with us. So safe and cared for, in the deepest peace and deepest joy. And in this space of listening, in soft stillness, we can experience the space of remembering. Remembering our true self. Remembering that the sound of the universe is sung through us in every moment. And so I'd like to close our practice today with a song. This is a song, it's called Call Me by My True Name. And I offer it to you with so much love. And love to Thich Nhat Hanh, who wrote the words to the song. And I'll sing it 3 times today. And you're welcome to sing along or simply receive. Call me by my true name. Call me by my true name, so that I may wake up the doors of compassion. Call me by my true name. Call me by my true name, so that I may wake up the doors of compassion. Call me by my true name. Call me by my true name, so that I may wake up the doors of compassion.
Thank you, Miko. Ah, what would words be without just diving into the heart of the meaning of them and bringing your spirit forth with it? Thank you. Thank you for mentioning listening, which is the first word of the beginning of Book of Enlightenment, Masnavi, Rumi, and it's a diving point of being able to open up these space and a spaciousness that we can expand to who we are in our true name. Thank you, my friend, for all your work and practice, and to our listeners and those who watch these. We hope you are wrapped in the blanket of love with the practices and with poetry. Thank you for bringing the spirit of John O'Donohue into the midst of love at the table of the feast of love, and Thich Nhat Hanh. And thank you for being the teacher you are, helping us to practice the stillness where we can grow. Well, we wish you much better year than the last 2 years we had. And Miko, would you like to say something? I'm just felt my vessel is filled with joy.
I just wish you from Hawaii here, aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Goodbye.